Hey guys, today we're diving into one of the hottest topics shaking the Yu-Gi-Oh world, the recent semi-limit of Maxx C in the OCG and the potential ban that's looming on the horizon. This change could have massive ripple effects not only across the OCG but also in the TCG, so let's break down exactly why this change is so significant and how it could reshape the competitive landscape. Let's recap what Maxx C actually does and why it's such a powerhouse in the meta. Maxx C is a hand trap that allows a player to draw a card every time the opponent special summons a monster for the rest of the turn. So this effect puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the combo heavy decks that rely on special summons to extend their plays. For years it's been one of the most polarizing cards in the OCG, offering you as a player a huge advantage in forcing your opponent into tough decisions, either give you a huge hand advantage or limit their own plays. In the last ban list, Maxx C was semi-limited, meaning it's been reduced to 2 copies per deck. This change alone already has a small impact on the OCG tournament formats, as it slightly decreases the likelihood of drawing into the card while maintaining its presence as a threat. However, rumors of a full ban have been circulating, and this upcoming restriction would mark the first time in years that Maxx C might be completely removed from competitive play. Many players believe this ban is inevitable because of how Maxx C warps deck building strategies. With Maxx C in the game, players often have to play around it, including running suboptimal lines to avoid giving their opponent extra resources. And when the threat of an opponent drawing like 10 cards during your turn is removed, it could lead to massive changes in the meta. But why is this happening now? One theory is that the card has simply become too central to OCG formats, limiting design space for new strategies and forcing games into a resource loop where whoever draws Maxx C first gains a massive advantage. And to ban Maxx C, they even released weaker versions of it in Mulchami Perulia and Fuvarus, which give you additional draws on summons from the deck, extra deck, or from hand. So this basically means that these cards are more healthy because there aren't universal decks like Voiceless Voice, which are completely immune to Fuvarus because they don't special summon from the extra deck and they don't special summon from the deck. And on the other hand, losing to Perulia. So you pretty much have to look at formats and be like, which deck is this card good against and which it is not. And then you have to decide which you want to play, and you not always have the universal answer to everything. And also these cards have drawbacks because if you're not ending on a big board, your opponent has to shuffle back cards, so you won't have 6 more than you have on field. So if you, for example, have 3 cards on field, your opponent can't have more than 9 cards in hand. The removal of this card will likely cause a major shift across the meta. Right now, many top tier combo decks need to play cautiously to avoid overcommitting into a Maxx C. Without it, combo decks could see a massive resurgence because they would no longer need to fear the card advantage disparity caused by special summoning. One major example is also the Unchained deck, which in the TCG has been a tier 1 threat in Kashira format and the following Age of Overlord format. But in the OCG, no one even considered it because it does play heavily into Maxx C. But Maxx C isn't only bad. It was also used to keep toxic strategies in check, like the Emancipator deck with Block Dragon, or FTK strategies whose only goal it was to either kill your opponent without a chance to react, or to put up such a big board that your opponent is not able to break it. Now let's shift gears and talk about the TCG. Maxx C has been banned in the TCG since 2018. Despite this, its semi-limit and potential upcoming ban in the OCG still matter to us, and here is why. The TCG and the OCG are intertwined when it comes to card design, and changes in one region can influence changes in the others. With Maxx C keeping in check some toxic strategies, the ban of Maxx C would mean that there's nothing to stop random FTKs or similar strategies. To keep those in check, we got the Mulchami Feroz and the Perulia, but because they aren't as universal as Maxx C, the OCG probably has to change the way they design cards. Now for us in the TCG, we are in a format without Maxx C, and the cards we get are mostly designed by the OCG. So when the OCG bans Maxx C, our formats won't differ that much, and therefore we will probably get more healthy designed cards. The long-term implications of a Maxx C's ban or semi-limit can't be understated. This card has been a pillar in the OCG for so long that its absence will force players to adapt not just their deck building, but their entire approach to competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! For years, OCG players have shaped their decks around minimizing Maxx C's impact. A full ban means a significant meta shift. We might also see more creativity from deck builders. With Maxx C gone, rogue decks that were previously outpaced by the threat of this card may now have room to shine. Conversely, combo decks might reach an even more impressive peak unless Konami introduces new balancing measures. One example for the creativity that comes from not playing under Maxx C is the Runic combo variants, because in the OCG no one even considered playing Runic as a combo deck with cards like the For Hire strategy, For Hire Sprite, the Runic Bestial deck from Joshua Schmidt, or the Runic White Woods deck, which are not really considered over there because people don't want to play into Maxx C. And the TCG could of course take cues from these changes, and maybe this will make the OCG and the TCG get closer to each other even more. So ultimately, the summer limit of Maxx C and its possible full ban in the OCG is a major turning point. The card's influence on the game is undeniable, and whether you play in the OCG or TCG, its presence or lack of it shapes the meta in ways that ripple across regions. But what do you think? How do you feel about the potential ban of Maxx C in the OCG? And do you think that the Molchami cards, Fovaros and Perulia, will be able to keep in check combo heavy variants or like FTK strategies, or do we have to ban them all? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in to today's discussion. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh content, and stay on top of all the latest card game updates. Until next time,